All right, let's get this whirl. So I'm going to start on a somewhat regular basis, going through what my daily morning looks like, as far as looking for a Keepa, not Keepa, but Amazon Flip. So if this interests you, I'll be using Keepa and mostly FlipAlert when I do this. So if you're interested, feel free to follow along. If not, definitely understand. So without further ado, I'm literally just going to get into it. I got my water. This usually is a 30 to 60 minute process, and we will go from there. I'm just going to put this up and we will get rocking and rolling. So typically what this kind of looks like is first I'm checking my tracks in the previous day for anything with Keepa. So this, and I usually check this a couple times throughout the day to be clear, and right now it's about 9 in the morning, so I'm usually checking my flips, one of the first things I do, and we can see if there's anything that I've set that makes sense. Sometimes they don't make sense, sometimes they do. This one, I tracked it a long time ago, over a year ago, and it was up at 89. Looks like a lot of people bought them, and then they kind of come back off. And now we're down kind of into a price point where it doesn't make sense. So we'd keep going on. Same idea with this one. Pretty sure I bought something like this. If I didn't say it in the first little intro, I will be delaying these probably a week or so. Flips come and go. This could show back up like this one. I think I bought this back here, and I might have already got some of these sold. I don't know. No, I start tracking it about here. I think that's when I got it. And even when I buy things, I typically set a track. So that one's already done. I'm just kind of looking. No, we're getting back 4 hours ago. This has kind of dropped in price. That's down in price. Borderlands was a solid price, and then a few spikes. This would be like a high risk, low reward type of item because Amazon's back in. They have been in, or at least it looked like they were in. The mini not unavailable, doesn't matter anyway. Why I said that, because if Amazon has been in stock for quite a long period of time, it doesn't make sense to potentially buy that one. Now, if more time had passed, I would definitely consider looking at that one. Some people might buy that, but for me, that'd be a little more risky. I tend to see, unless there's a long period of time where Amazon's not in stock and I start seeing them in stock, out of stock, and in stock, there's a likelihood that they come back in stock for a period of time. Let me go back to Keepa again. Tracks. I'm just gonna look through these. Typically, I go through these pretty quickly, and so we're going through here. No, this one has been in and out of stock. I don't know why I got a notification 1896. This should be 7 something. This one's been going in and out. This I set. Let me look at it. And a lot of times, like I said, I'll go back to a day, and typically I'm just opening these up. The shoe, maybe I've been going away from like women's type of shoes like this because I've got too many of these back for being 6'3". Viking light. I have too many weird sized women's shoes that aren't my wife's, so I've been kind of going away from that. And we're about a day back. I don't think this makes sense either. We can look at this Jeyusu. That's 2 days. Now we're all the way back. So typically, I'll just go through and I open these up. You notice for me, I have a tendency to open more tabs than a lot of people would, just to kind of relook at the data and see if it makes sense. That doesn't, and most of these things won't make sense. Specifically, if I've set tracks a little further back. So for a little bit there, here's a good example where like it came in stock, went back out. You could have maybe got that, but then in and out. So you'd have to hope that Amazon stayed out, and now they're seeing more of a trend of staying in stock. So like I would be a little hesitant on buying this. You could still do all right, don't get me wrong, but like I'd be a little more hesitant. I might buy just a couple, like 1, 2, 3, if I was gonna buy this at all. And if the math out, this, yeah, I mean it could. Worst case, doesn't look like Amazon's in stock. Let me try to restock. Okay, cool. Hot Wheels says 24. There were some drops in and out. Amazon was in earlier, so that doesn't work. All Clad, no. Same idea. Godzilla, nothing going on here. So this is literally what I'm going here. I'm looking for this for more 7. Amazon's back up on price. That's fantastic news for this. I thought for sure they're going to stay down at the $7.99, but they've raised it. Hopefully they stay up there for all of you that bought these. If you're watching this and you bought these like at the $7.99 price point. And then so what I'm going from here, so I use a tool called FlipAlert, and I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in it. If not, no big deal. This basically, I'll give you an overview. I can set tasks up.
You know, if I don't want any shoes, profit $4, 20% under 100K. Like I have a bunch of different filters kind of playing around with things. And so then that filters me into price drops that only meet the tasks criteria. Plus, so then we can kind of look through these. So this is kind of my next step. And to be quite clear, there's some days where I find a crap ton of stuff, like dollar wise. There's some days where I don't. It is putting your reps in. Reps and hours do not necessarily equal like buying in a given day, but over a period of time, being consistent, they will start adding it together. You'll start seeing trends and seeing what's going on. US been 4.5. Don't think I'm buying that. What is this? This is somewhat interesting. And like I said, you'll see me open a lot of stuff up. We would have to get approved to sell that. Not sure what's going on here. Was Amazon in on this for a bit, or does this some random third party just kind of tank the price out? Whoever this person is just tanked it out. 16, potentially get back up there. Let's try to get approved. Oh, and if you're wondering and trying to snap my store, yeah, I do have that blocked. just if you're wondering. Fiend brand, okay, approved. There are definitely a lot of like need to get approved kind of thing. This is probably way too high ranked anyway, but I'm just curious, like, would I be even remotely interested in ratings? Dude has okay ratings. FBA, I mean, this, what are we looking for? Actual sales, like 4.7 drops. Yeah, even though drops don't necessarily mean like sales, this is just moving too slow. And typically when I'm going through this, I've looked at that, and you'll see me skim over some things because I've like, if I'm in here every day, which I am, you should be able to go pretty quick through here. Remember these, I'll look at these Wranglers, but I'm pretty sure they're too low. Harry's, I know it's just no-go. Otterbox, IPs, there's some random 2-pack of basketballs that'll make sense. Maybe that, unlikely though. And I'm using this just to kind of get to see these drops, like I said, and then from there we're just going to start looking into stuff. No, and I'm typically doing this 2-3 times a day. So like, I don't think Lee's works, but let's look. There's been this best RQ that's been around. A lot of these, you're gonna see a lot of those. If you're using FlipAlert, you're already in around this time. You would already know that. I've seen that. No, Calvin Klein. Unlikely considering it's only been a couple months. And now they're pinning that price down. Dress shirt, maybe that might be too new though. Whenever there's a maybe, possibly, I'm unsure, I'm just opening the tab up and taking a look at, so maybe that, I don't know about that though, that looks kind of ugly, honestly. Not from a look, but just from a chart. Let's look at through here. And this is really what we're doing. Like you can see it's 8:24 right now, it's 9:26, so I'm about an hour back on drops. I keep my filters pretty wide, and I'm willing to go through more trash to find good things, because there's a ton of stuff that will drop that most people wouldn't look at if you follow traditional, like stay under 100K and do all that stuff, like only things that sell 3 billion times. Obviously exaggerating for effect, but nonetheless. Probably not protein barring. That might be a thing. The Minecraft movie. Can I sell it? I have a hard time believing that wouldn't do okay. How are we looking at it? It comes in and out. When it goes out, it's at 39. Even if we go down to 34, we could hit that. I mean, that's not great. We would need to get close. There's a bunch of people in the FBM range, but once we get to FBA, I'm definitely going to try for a couple of these since it's a new movie. 39, they were 30 and 39 FBA. So yeah, I'm actually going to purchase this real time. Like I have a separate tab with my Amazon business. The only thing I don't love is the fact that they're showing a stock at 27. So they could be in for the long haul for a little bit here. I'm gonna buy a couple, like 3. I'm not gonna buy 27 just because they're showing 27. I mean, they could go right back out of stock though, because they're selling 1,000 of them. Like maybe I buy more than 3. Maybe I buy like 5. But with stuff like this, you never know fully. So I'm gonna buy like 5. Unless Amazon's gonna limit me. They might limit me to not let me buy them. We'll see. I have like a thing when I go over the quantity where it just doesn't let me change it right now. They're making it so like you can only buy 1, it looks like. Very interesting. Yeah, it looks like they're only letting me get one, but this would be something I would take a shot on. I mean, there's a chance you can get hosed on this and be down $11. I don't think that would be the case. Worst case, you have to hold it for a little bit longer. It is, and they're selling 1,000 a month. So unless Amazon's in for a ton of them, we should be in a good spot. I'm going to open up another browser tab and see if I can get this. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like Amazon doesn't want you to buy this, which is very Amazon-y. Oh, there, nope. But what they're letting me do, I'm just talking you through this, is I can go add more to the carts, like one at a time from the main screen. Let's just see. It's very interesting. Okay, let's see if I can grab a few of these. All right. It seems like Amazon's website in general is being a little glitchy. I'm gonna let that set aside for now. We'll keep going for the sake of the video. Let's just keep on keeping on. What else we got? Some DeWalt 6-inch bitch for doesn't sell a ton at all. Not at all. Okay, let's move on. $20 and 35, maybe 40. Let's see what this is showing me. Definitely dropped off. So if we plan maybe for like 36 on 20, does this make sense? Not really. We would have to hope it comes back up. I mean, it could go to 39. 43 would be nice. Obviously 30, we'd have to be ready for it to come down here. And then we could, I mean, so in my head, I'm like, I have to be ready for it to potentially hit 30, like 35, 36. So if we do even set 36 here, right? Like, that's not great. If it comes back to here. And then if we could potentially get it back to 40 range, it would be okay. But like, we've had a month almost now where that sits down there. So it's a little concerning. 39, if 36, even at 39, I don't know if the risk is really worth the reward. I don't think it is. And so I'm probably letting that be. You could potentially do okay with that one if Amazon comes back up. I just don't know that they will or won't, right? So let's look at this. 39 on to, they have 20 of these. That's from some other random seller. Okay. And there's a bunch of people, like when I look at the price points over here. And so I know this extension you're seeing me use right here, if you're new, is Rev Seller. There's others like it. Like some people use Seller Amps, some people use Ace and Zen. So they're all similar, just work different. They all get you similar data, just they look differently. These were here. Why did this person just overbuy, or what happened? Like, so something maybe here. I'm just kind of curious why so many are being bought. You can see the offer count going up, which general correlation, offer count goes up, price goes down, and that's exactly what's happening here. This dude had, even if I wanted to go with this, the rating at 87% with only 60 rating tells me I'm probably not buying that, dudes. Then we're already back up here, and there's a bunch of people sitting in the 65 range, so 39 to like 63 I don't think makes sense anyway. No. Cool. Let's go on. When I see this, I'm just going to try to get approved. Doesn't mean I will, but I'm going to try anyway. Nope. So then I'm just closing that down. Way too high on rank. It's 56 days old. That makes sense. Extreme motion, $23 under 38. Even if I don't want to buy it, I'm right now, I'm just clicking up request approved for everything. Leaves, I was pretty sure we couldn't. This is 55K. They were down at 34. Nah, it doesn't make sense. Wranglers, these were back here. So I thought most of these Wranglers for some reason were a little higher and then dropped down, which kind of created a false positive for the drops. You'd have to assume 79 maybe. Even if it's at 75, let's see what this looks like for fun. Not good enough. You would have to get into that, like, let's see. You'd have to almost hit that 80 price point, and even then it's kind of, that's borderline. The only nice thing is that there is a 33% potential discount. So let me see if the business side, if they actually give you that. So these on the business side come down to about 31.55, which which gives us some room even for buying one. My only concern is if they come back down on price, like if they hit back down to 30, we're just hosed. Like we're not making any money back here. There's obviously it's 23, 24, but we start looking even like 40. If it comes back to 49, what does this look like? We're breaking even. And if we figure a conservative upside of, let's call it like 65, 70, let's just call it the 90-day average, we do okay. So like, you have to understand that like if we go completely down, we're in trouble. If not, we're okay. And then the other question is, does this, then they sell? There's definitely a lot of drops. So we have to understand that like, if we could buy into this, we're understanding that there's a chance that we go down to break even and get in trouble. But the upside is that, and for me, it's a toss-up. Sometimes I'd buy these, sometimes I wouldn't, but like I'm probably not right now, just because there was a pretty strong history of them being lower price for a while. And if we wanted to also, we could then go out to the Google world and see what are these going for in the normal world. That's or just what it looks like Walmart sells them, Wrangler sells them typically for $30. Are these actually on sale? Looks like we don't have those. Okay, interesting. These are 34 here, or just another pair of Wrangler Comfort Flex Waist. Yeah, I'm not loving that one, so let's move on. Okay, we're going to go to next. All right, what do we got? I don't think that makes sense. I'm gonna open it, but I don't think that one makes sense. Like I said, the trend you'll see with me is I open a lot of stuff. There's that Minecraft again. It's very interesting that on Walmart. No, wrong thing. What did I see? I got it. I saw this. So that's another thing about FlipAlert. They have this blue thing which shows you Walmart. So if you wanted to buy that, and you looked over here, right now they're 38, and I think I would buy this even for just that. That's pretty cool. They're not the greatest ratings, but there's at least some of them there, so it's showing me indications that they're at least selling. So that's cool. The real question is, can we actually get that order to go through? Because for some reason, like on all my screens, like it's just like spinning. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure why it's doing that. Just need to check out. I'm gonna try this one more time. I actually kind of really want to buy this, but it's being kind of a pain if I'm being honest. I know something's going on with Amazon. That's the fun of a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company, right? Like things act up. Oh, what we got? I think we're good. Like part of me like wants to buy like 6 for Amazon, 6 for Walmart, which I think that's what we're gonna do. Since Walmart has a possibility, I would have to go in and verify I could sell this. Is the only downside, which I should do that. I'm just gonna get this order placed, and the nice thing about like these flips things, like they specifically this one, they're back ordered a little bit right now. They said sometime in like May or June that they're gonna, like late May, early June. So worst case, I'll go look at this once we're done with this and go from there. So let's keep going. Let's cool. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Let's see what this looks like. That's a very big drop off. Hexago I don't recognize that brand. Doesn't mean it's not a thing. What is this guy? This little alien guy? Cool figure, that's for sure. Where was he? Was it a third party or was it Amazon? Came in at 127. Wow, they're trying to sell this for $4.99. I'd be scared to sell this. I'll be really honest. $2.39. I just kind of want to get an idea if it comes back in. So let's say target price. So what I'm doing right here is actually setting this is FlipAlert. So it'll actually alert me in the Discord and tell me it'll ping me and say, hey, if this goes to 179, I'll put it like it might be too much. 185 for Amazon FBA. You could also, if you have Keepa, just go to track products and say, I want to see if it comes. I want to see if Amazon comes back in at, let's say, 185, and I usually go a little above what the price that it was at. So for if it gets anywhere in that facility, we can find that. This would be another needs to be approved. Maybe we'll get approved for this one. Like I said, anytime I see like that little approved thing, I'm trying to get approved. 50. This was that. There's that. Does that make sense? No, not quite. If there's some sort of business discounting, maybe, and it's not moving particularly well, which is maybe why Amazon's dropping the price. It's somewhat new with 100 days on it, so I'm probably moving on. Let's see what else we got. And like this is literally the entire process. So like if you're over me talking at this point, it's 20 minutes in, I would understand. If this is intriguing, let's keep going. Gear aid, let's look at that. Power step, I know nothing about that. I don't really want to sell women's shoes, I'll be honest. Just too many returns. I've cut my return rate in half by selling weightless women's things. Let's see here. This looks more like a PLE product maybe. These have been a thing for the last day or two. These are definitely things you could look at buying. I wouldn't be surprised since they're still showing up that they're going to drop on price, but maybe not. Maybelline, no. Freeze dried beef, maybe. I'm always hesitant on like any type of food stuff because if it's expired, then you gotta go through and try to get reimbursed from Amazon. But I know a lot of people that do well with it, so like I'm always really torn. Let's look at this. I don't think we're going to be able to sell Ultra Boost with Adidas going the way that they did. Let's see. Something I'd like to point out, we're only an hour back, or 2 hours back on when on the top here. We're, hundreds in Magic the Gathering maybe. I've seen this jelly cat thing starting to show through more. Razor Mamba, I think I got this yesterday, but let's look. Very freestyle. No, I'll open it just in case. You're gonna see a bunch of tabs opening up as we do this. Let's see here. Oh man, I sold the crap out of these a long time ago. Alright, let's keep going. Tom's main flu, probably not good. And this will only take me back so far, and then we'll show you kind of what the next step of this would be. Just want to get through this page, then we'll have a bunch opened up to look at. Monster High, I'd have to get approved, but there was some showing up. If I got enough of them, I would probably try. I'm gonna look at that, even though it's probably not gonna be okay. They have a lot of these Wranglers showing up. Not interested in swimsuits, just the return rates are crazy. Let's see what else we got. All Star Sleep Style. No. Unlikely. I'm gonna pull that open just in case. Dr. Browner. This brand I've done well with in the past, but that was a long time ago when I did some wholesale stuff and got cut off. Let's see. Let's look at that. Classic B clarinets. I've bought some of these with those dips. You can see it in the Keepa graph there. Maybe Fujoy. I'm just trying to get through this entire page here. So we're on page 3 of 3 right here, and you would think, oh, it's only back to 4:25 in the morning. The last I checked was probably 5 p.m. the previous day. There's a way to get to all those, and I'll show you that, but let's go through these. And typically I'm going through these a lot quicker, but I'm trying to like talk through my thought process. This one, previously the price is too low. Amazon came in, ran back out. There's a chance it could run out, but still probably not high enough. The size is okay for men. 8 is okay, it's not horrible. Let's keep going. What is this? B clarinet fill reeds. These are 22 on 33. Not as okay-ish. Meh. Like it's meh. I guess would be how I would put this. The person that we're looking and questioning to buy them, ratings 83% with only 40 feedbacks. We're definitely not buying that. I'm curious. No, they just cut underneath Amazon. They're just trying to get out for whatever reason. Okay, so definitely not buying that. Once again, if I see approval, I'm just trying to get approved. Nope, not today. when you typically see, at least right now, you see the I want to get up the dollar sign when you go to try to approve it. It's less likely to be approved when you see that dollar sign there right now. Hopefully that changes in the future, but that's just kind of how that's been. So no point of looking at this. Monster High, I would need like 100 of them. Can't do that right now. Star Wars, what do we got? Amazon was in stock at 47. They still technically are there. I don't know that 46, 47. No, it doesn't really make sense at 47.40. I'm curious if I take a look over on the side, if maybe, just maybe, there's a business discount. 47.40. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm just double checking while the page loads. Nope. Okay, let's continue. I don't know what this is. This seems to be the brand. 65, 95. Yeah, so this is my only concern whenever I see things like this. Like, long time on Amazon, and then Amazon just comes in, and they've just been cruising at the $65 mark. I think I bought a couple of these, and I'm hoping they get back to 119, and I don't have to hold them for too long, because if they stay in stock, so even at a year, like I like to, if they stay in stock, we're in trouble for a little while, and then eventually they'll creep back up, but hopefully not. It needs to be something where I probably bought a couple, probably 2, 3, to kind of roll with that, because it's really, I could potentially lose. I think I got them for 65, 68, or something like that. That's not even what I'm looking at. I'd be looking at more if we can get them back into like the 119 range. So either I lose that money, or I try to hold long enough to get back to this. My hope is that they run relatively out of stock decently fast. But let's see, Magic untapped games. Once again, not a great. No, they're better rating, but they're $49. My suspicion is they were lower. Amazon came in at 26. 26 would make sense here. So I'm going to do a quick task for like 28. And we'll set it for here. Cool. Let's keep going. Restricted is what I thought for that. Yep. We need to get approved. And 79 on that. I mean, it could make sense there. I have to get approved. Let's see if it's a dollar sign one. It is not. Stewart brand. So this would be an interesting one. Dog food should stay good relatively for a relative period of time. $14 nuts. The only thing is if they go back to 67, we have an issue. Then they sat down here for a little while and then they went back up, they went down. If for me, like, it's probably a pass for some people, they would honestly buy this, and I wouldn't blame them. My concern is if it goes back to 67, we're basically break even. We're having to catch this top end, and it could. My guess is either 67 or 84. I mean, either way, you could do okay. I'm not particularly interested in that though. Let's look at this. Yeah, this is just that brand. Okay. Power Step. I don't know anything about Power Step. Cool. Looks like there's a front row group was one holding up. My suspicion is these are the guys that are holding this, and they're probably protecting that. Why do I think that? When you see like a solid line like this for a long period of time, like, it makes me kind of think it's either their brand or something's going on. The front row global wholesale dropped the price, then came back up. They must have got out, is my guess. A little iffy at best. All right, let's take a look at this guy. This is like 26 on 8.7. Yeah, this makes a ton of sense. I'm not sure. I think I might have bought this already. Yeah, I bought this yesterday. Okay, that makes sense. That was down for a little bit. So I got this for $8.97. I'm hoping we get back up into like the 28 range. Worst case, if we have to come down to like 23, I didn't mean to go to that person's store. If we have to go to 23, we're still doing okay, and that's doing all right. I think I only bought a couple, 2, 3, 4. That's a very common trend you'll see with me, where I'm just buying a couple, 50 of them. Cool. But you know, even if we can get back to 26, I mean, if I bought for fun, let's see how many I bought. So we bought 4. So there's, I mean, 9 and 4 is $36. If I can find that per hour, if I can find one of these an hour at 36 an hour, that's, 70K a year right there, right? Like I don't know, people really think like that. For me, I'm like, if I could find one of these an hour, like, like 70K. So we're through this section. And if that's all you needed to see, cool. Now, if you want to take this further, we can go to product finder. And this is where it can become kind of, for me, the way I set this up, kind of mind numbing a little bit, because I go real wide. I'll get rid of like clothing, apps, books, stuff like that. And then I'm going to keep this pretty wide open. Offer count of 2. Profit if it's as little as $3, and say ROI of like 20. This is, like I said, I'm going to go through a lot of junk, but I want to see if there's anything I'm missing that maybe with my other tasks I have set up on here that are just getting missed. So when we do this, we're going to get a ton more stuff. And I think about it, I want to filter this slightly different as well. So we're going to go let's go to the 8th to the 10th. 8th here. Cool. And I'm going to take it a day after. I'm going to overshoot it just to make sure it gets today's stuff. So yesterday, because I'm in here every day, I'm going to capture unranked as well. We're going to hit apply. Now we're going to have thousands and thousands of items. And most of these will not make sense. This is more of we're just kind of refiltering to kind of catch anything that maybe my original filtering didn't catch. So, and so I'm looking for things that don't look like a PL brand. So like looks PL, Beats Solo. I don't think I can sell Beats. I don't know if anyone can, honestly. Pretty sure we're gated, yeah, restricted. Looks self-fill, probably tech fill can apparently. Okay. Classic. It's like classic accessory or something like that. Okay. And a lot of these are going to look very PLE. Dunloop, maybe. Razor, maybe there. Some people are gated on Razor. I don't think I am on some things right now. Some people like the perfume world. If you can sell, let's just take a look at it. If I can find, 3, 4, 5 of these things per page just to kind of look at, it just gives me more products to look at. Maybe that. Unlikely though. Let's keep going. We looked at that already. Weird toy. Nope. Okay, let's keep going. Cross Bailey refill. Okay, is that I don't think that makes sense, but let's look at it. I'm pretty sure I'm still gated on Lego, but let's open it. So the trick with this is getting through these, but like also like trying not to like overlook things as well. So like you're playing this balance of like, we looked at that already. I'll look at this. Super Buffalo. I'm not no. Look at that. Maybe I opened this already. I don't remember. And that's the other thing is like things will start bunnying. So I may look at things twice. It's not the end of the world. It's just another couple clicks to kind of glance at it again. Pure Relief Lavender. I don't know what that is. Let's open it. We've looked at those socks already. Pokemon cards, which just seems to be all the craze right now. More Pokemon cards. Open those up. And I'm going to set page 2 up. If there's anything that really catches my attention, the very top here, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Mage Wars, RC Boy, decent rating. Amazon was at 23. That's what I would need to get it at if I get approved. Drum roll. We are approved. Is Amazon still here? They are. They're backlogged at 23. It's not going to sell many. Like I'm buying like 1, maybe 2. They sell. The only thing I have to look out for is the fact that like there have been people that have been selling down at 29. I don't love that. Looks like they went away from that. So let's see here. If we assumed 52, not particularly like super hot, like maybe I'd pick this one up. Like I'd probably still pick it up, if I'm being honest. If I have 1, what is you kind of look at the downside is like break even. The upside would be if we can get them sold up into the 60 range, which would be a stretch. I'm not saying like it's going to happen. That would be a big stretch. I would say 54, 55, like here. Break even are like $11. I think we can get that. The question is, can we actually buy that one? maybe, just maybe, it's a lot of times when there's one of them, like Amazon will just be like, no, you can't buy it. This is definitely backlog, and I think it's a higher rank, so there's a chance that people, and it's kind of like risk reward ratio. So I'm wondering if people just kind of overlook that, and this is why I set that up. Yep, we got that purchased. Cool. So there's potentially another $11. We had 30, so we're up to like 40. We've been recording for 35 minutes. We're making about $1 a minute right now. Going. Proved. Okay. I don't think we're gonna be able to sell this, but let's take a look. All right. Pure relief. I mean, okay, cool. Doesn't make sense. Best essential, and then someone just tanked the crap out of that. JG Deals, what are you doing, man? We sell retail. I guess it's all of them. This retail lightning LLC. This dude is whoever this is. Like, hopefully it's not you, but man, that's not good at all. Anyway, let's see. These were doing better. Keywords were. Let's see, the 25-30 range or 17. I'm probably just moving on from that. What do we got here? Business discount potentially 35. These are definitely higher ranked items. Of higher ranked items, I only like to buy 1, 2. There's a 30. There is a discount on top of that. They do sell, just not particularly well. I don't love the fact that Amazon's slowly creeping down, but there's also some like coming back up on price. They're at 35. We'd have to, if we figured 60-ish, which is where we're at, potentially like a 8% discount. Let me throw this over to the side and take a look. Let's see. Just waiting for it to load up on the side. So if we bought 2, we get it down to 32.72. Not horrible if we can get the pricing up here. If we go further out, what is the history? 39, and they came back up and some. They're not selling much up here. It's possible. For me, it's probably a pass because it's like we're fighting. Amazon has 8s in stock. Then when they're higher priced, they're not selling nearly as many. I'm probably letting this go. It's tempting. Don't get me wrong. Like I kind of like I want to, but it's not something I'm gonna do. Seeing this frequently returned, I'm probably passing on this. If this was still in stock, Amazon did have it in on 147. A bunch of people must have bought this. And if you were okay with doing a slightly higher return rate, there's another $50 item right there potentially. If you were approved, I should try to go get approved just so I can do it. High likelihood of getting approved on this one. Yep, cool. So this could, if you're okay dealing with returns, a frequently returned product, this could have been an item that potentially made sense. So that's kind of cool. Let's keep going on. Legos here. I got that. Cross Bailey. Okay, we're gonna look at this. So it has a $sign in front of it. Less likely to get approved, but doesn't mean we're not gonna stop trying to. $40. Okay, nope. I open this up real quick here. We'll keep going. We are approved on that one at $19. They were 30-ish. There's a chance they go back down and kind of hang down there. They're 30-ish. I don't think 19 to 30 makes a ton of sense. Nah. If this thing moved like uber fast, maybe. But probably not for me. I can sell this. It's hazmat. It's triple pricing. I don't know who that is. I would just go for the Amazon one. Honestly, 38 triple pricing down, selling them down here too right now. Interesting. If we got them for 73, what's going on? JC Penney looks like they're selling them. It's funny, so there's some sort of sale going on with these right now. It looks like potentially Fragment's Net, Walmart. It's interesting. I don't want to deal with hazmat and deal with 100,000 ranked item, but I mean this does have potential if you're willing to deal with those things. It's not going to be for me, but definitely has potential. This guy, SLG Logistics 31. We go down to day, week. So I mean 69, 31. Does he have good ratings on that one? 31. Figure 55 on 31. Potential. If we thought we can get back up to 69, that's gonna be a stretch though. Might be 50. I don't love this one honestly. There's potential, but I think there's too much downside. Even though there's not many people on these, like figure 60, 50. If we can get back to this price point, it would be okay. The risk comes at, so this dude has stock of 1. I don't know that he's going, if that's all they have. Supposedly it's all they have for now. But if we go backwards back down, we could very easily be in a break-even situation, or like not make a ton of money, like break even or make $12 on the high side. Like, and it's a higher ranked video game item. Video games in 14K is pretty high rank, so like there's some give and take with that. Like if I was gonna buy this, I'd buy the 1 and then understand kind of my risk versus reward. Hopefully this is not, yep, I was figuring this was gonna be a $1. Nope, 100 units. Don't have 100 units. If I was approved for this one, I think this would make sense. Yeah. If I was approved, maybe you would be. You could definitely look at something like this. This dude seems decently rated. Buy box 41%, so that seems fine. It's a little slower ranked mover, but still, like, you can make $6 on 35% of your money. Buy a couple of these, buy the 3, get them sold in the next month or 2. Be good. So let's keep going. DMV. There's that gear rate again. Yep. So now we're at 42 minutes. So this is typically, this would take, like, this process you're seeing right here, somewhere between 30 minutes and like an hour and a half, depending on the day. When I'm not talking, I would typically be going a little bit quicker. Jelly, no, there's that magic. We saw that already. You the fan. We're getting back into like this 6 a.m. So like we're 2 pages in, we're only back a couple hours. So like, this is with a very loose filter though. You could tighten it up, but you're just gonna miss stuff is the problem. So like this is kind of like pick your heart out. I'd rather see more of this stuff than not, and kind of filter through it, where a lot of people don't want to do this part, I don't think. Yeah, we're at that. Yep. Let's see, since I only got a few taps, let's see if I get through another page. My goal would be, I think the last time I looked, it was like at 5 or 6 last night. So my goal would be to get all the way back to there. Let's look at these. I don't look at those. Look at that. I don't think I can sell Samsung anymore, but let's take a look at it just in case. It doesn't make much sense. Look at this Yeti. I don't know what that is. Let's open it up. Let's open that up. So we're getting into like the overnight products, which I think is why like in the morning enough time has passed, and why I can usually find more of my stuff in the morning, and then kind of catch random things throughout the day. All right. That might work, but cans and Italian tomato, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big fan of food, and I know some people do well with it, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Amazon sometimes doesn't, sometimes all the time doesn't follow their own rules. It's the problem when it comes to expiration dates, and then you gotta go fight them. So All right, we're back to 2:15 a.m. Let's go through some of these. Grab a drink of water quick here. As again, a pretty high ranked item that I just wouldn't have noticed if I was approved for this. I mean, it's $4, 42%. Doesn't sell particularly fast. But those little $4 items that sell once, twice a month start adding up. I don't think I'm able to sell this though. Nope. Move on. Amazon's at 27, or is Amazon? Yeah. What's so something or someone dropped down to $9.99. If this was $9.99, 90 cents, 9.99. That'd make a lot more sense. Hopefully, you can see by now, if you're still with me here, that there's definitely a lot of potential with this if you're being consistent and working through this. I plan to do more of these, like I said, somewhat daily. Just gotta show you, I delay these a little bit. I'd prefer not to have everyone that's watching these buy everything, because especially these higher ranked things, then it's gonna be a problem. I don't love glass, but the brand is very interesting. Take that. Be okay with that if I can get approved. Drum roll. I think there's a high likelihood of getting actually being approved for that one. Cool. Let's take a look. 39. Amazon was here. Let's go further back out. Pricing seems to be steady at 39-ish. Now if we come back, 1653, 1653, and 11. I think this makes sense. This dude only apparently has one. Just looking. I'm always taking a glance. Yeah, this person's selling random stuff. Cool. I like to glance, like if I see one person on the listing, I want to take a look, like, why are you only selling one? And let's grab a 68,000 is actually not a bad rank. Probably going down on price is why that's happening. But let's take a look. So rank, let's see here. So we're doing okay-ish. It looks like, I mean, they move. So we don't have that yellow line, so it's going to be less than 50 of them they're selling per month. I'm still probably okay buying a couple of these, like 4 or 5 of them. It's very tempting if I thought Amazon would stay out. The other thing we could do is, let's look at the variations. 275 cc. If we go look at 275, do we have any size? Show me 275. No, this just very random 275 cc, huh? Yeah, let's get some reviews, get some ratings. It's doing okay. I think it's definitely within the realm of something to buy. The beautiful thing about all this is too, like, you may not buy this. You may be like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, yep, I'll buy this. So there's gonna be, if I buy 5 of these, I think I'm buying 6 of this. There's another 50 some bucks. So we're in for 35, 80, 100, and then if we'll see how those Steves turn out. Those could potentially be, you know, in the $200 to $300 profit range. And that's purchased. Let's keep going. All right, this one, I think the Yeti just comes in and out the actual brand themselves. Well, maybe not. Day Amazon came in at 25. Yeah, we're gonna track that. Quitas at 26. I'll put it at 30 just so I can see it. Start tracking. Cool. That's wild. Yeah, I can actually sell the Samsung item. SMG Prime. Doesn't seem like it makes a ton of sense. Let's look at the day. Someone was selling it down at 100. At 100. If I caught that price, probably with the right person. But no, these are here. SMG Prime must have been there. So like at the right price point, maybe that actually would make sense. Let's go track. Let's go set a quick task at like 105. Start tracking. Cool. I'm just gonna add per normal. Just go try to get it approved. Blue Hog branded. Cool. We are approved. I don't think this makes sense though. Who was dropping these down? It was at $29.99. That makes sense. I'm just kind of looking. What does Keepa tell me about this? 82, they sell at 82. They definitely went down to 30 something. This person, when they come in, they stay like they hold the price at 32. I'm actually curious. I don't know that I would buy these, but I kind of want to set a target for like 35 in case that dude comes back in, and maybe we sell those off. 39. It doesn't make sense. Was Amazon in $1 something? I don't think this is the correct thing. The thing with this would be like a risk item for sure, because there's a high likelihood Amazon would send you like one of these instead of 336 wipes. I'm curious, so I would gamble $1 for that. I don't know about you. That's so I'm gonna put this at $2. Amazon in there. Let's see if they come through. What I'm doing with all this, I'm very much, when I put these tracks in place, I'm helping my future self and my future business out by taking the time to go through these. Because I'll take a slight mini Discord detour. So let me go to my DMs. Let's look at FlipAlert. We'll start pinging you items potentially that show up. So these are all potential items that, the Yeti Rambler bottle we can go visit. It's not there anymore, but the price I pinged it at, it did show up at some point. And you can see they came back down $13 in the last day. It was down to 26. Yeah, a couple days ago it was 13. So like gives you an idea. Like we can potentially find the past future proxy, and you don't have to do this with FlipAlert. You can also do it with Keepa as well. $23 at 43. It seems like a potential is 3% at 49, 42. So it depends on where we think we get at. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Amazon could come down here. We'd have to wait through that. Yeah, I think this would be another thing I would buy. We get a 3% discount as well, which would be fantastic. Amazon supposedly has a bunch of stock on these. Do these sell pretty decently? They sell, 100-ish a month. Doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. Like 100. Amazon could just come in at this 25 price and sit down. They're unlikely. They could though. And you can see when they are down at that price, they sell many, so they get sold out pretty quickly. 50 some. Yeah, I mean, it seems. I wouldn't love it to come out 42, 43, but I could still do okay with those. So, this might be like a 3, 4, 5 kind of item. Add to cart. I'm curious, what is the actual pricing they're giving me? 22.43 with 5 of them. So we actually get down to 22.43. And yes, this covers my shipping, placement, minimum splits. I do my own preps right now just to save a little bit of money on that. But this would definitely be something that could lend itself to a prep center if they're, $1.50 a unit. Be pretty easy for them to do that. The last thing I want to look at is variations. Does this sell? Excuse me. Not as fast as the rest of them, but it definitely does sell. The other thing you could look into is taking these 6-packs if the money made sense, and then splitting these down. This would be 10, 11 bucks. You could put them into potentially a 3-pack right here. Maybe a single. If you go to 20? 6, you get them for 3 something on 11. Actually, kind of curious now. Would that even make sense if we took that 6-pack? We're getting these 6-packs for let's go 22.43 divided by 6. Would that make any sense? I mean, you could potentially try to cook some of these down if you're okay moving for less money, but maybe a little bit faster. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I'm wrong on that one. 2-pack potentially, and we can see that like the 3-packs do pretty well. The single at $9 does better. So if we cut this in half, I'm just for the sake of looking at this, does it make sense for me to buy even more if we took 20.43 divided by 2? Here's another one there we could potentially buy, and they sell a couple hundred. 24. We'd have to get, so it's probably more like that. Still pretty decent. As long as they match up, we'd verify that. So we could probably buy, 5 of the 6-packs. Maybe we buy another 5. So maybe we buy a total of 10 of them, and then we split these up amongst the different packs. And there's only $200 in spend and a bunch more profit. We're easily in the couple $100 of profit range right now. There's a bunch of people here, so I love seeing that. Frequently kept. So yeah, this seems like a pretty solid item that I would have just not seen if I didn't have open my filter up a little bit more. Proceed to check out. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a few of these, and then we're gonna probably split these up. Verify that they are the exact same size and all this stuff. And worst case, if I had to buy 10 of the 6-packs, and that's what I bought, it's not that big of a deal. We'll continue there. Cool. That's really cool. I'll have to come back and relook at those at some point, but we will do that at a later time. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. $49 from Amazon. I don't know anything about Sear Vinyl, if I'm being really honest. I don't know. Can you sell it new? Can you sell it? Is this technically new? I think it would be. I don't know. And there's like potential. I don't know enough about vinyl to do this, but if you did and you knew, there's potential right there as well. Tupperware brand. This is WePack. So they were up higher, not selling, and they just kind of dropped the price. That's cool. I'm still going to attempt to get approved. It's interesting. We can actually sell these ones typically, though. Yeah, I was going to say the brand's on it. This brand has been showing up. Yep, that's exactly what happened. And you can see it here very much when the brand's on things, or if it's a private label brand, very, very steady at that price. So I'm not something I really want to mess around with when I see the brand there. Amazon's on this one, off-road belts. I just want to see, are they just this D&D power drive? That's all they have. So this guy is probably this brand then. D&D power, off-road belts has got to be them then. At least that's kind of where my brain goes. And it just helps me reduce a bit of risk with this. Unless this person just started selling. Now they have 7,000, so they're just doing... So I'm not going to even bother trying to get that one. Let's keep going. If this keeps up, this may be the only sourcing I need to do for the day. Bug zapper, indoor mosquito, I'll look at it. Like I said, I want to get all the way back to about 5 p.m. the previous night. Command hooks, I'll look at it. Fly racing, I'll look at it. If this was cheap enough, I might consider getting this for myself, but it's not for my one wheel, but it's probably not. All right, let's keep going. We saw these Franklin Sports. Let's open that up. Maybe this one, I'm not sure, I'll be honest. And you can see there's these things, they've just been sitting like, and maybe they don't meet certain people's criteria, maybe they're gated, but there's just a ton of stuff that's just been sitting overnight. Like, it's interesting to me to kind of see this. Let's keep going. All right. There was this once again. I'm going to reopen that again just in case. Rawlinson plus backpack. I don't think that makes any sense at all, but I'm going to open it. So we're already on page 4, and we're starting to get back there. Past this Drill America. I don't love seeing those like spike downs like that. Those aggressive staircases down. No. Knife set, hunting doll. No. I'll open it. I don't think that makes sense either. Red light therapy for face. This is definitely like a PL product. Maybe the Barbie. Maybe the treasure. I think I saw this last night at some point. I must have missed it. There's that monster high again. Oh, look at this. That doesn't look great. I'm just gonna open it up anyway. I don't bulk cutters. Maybe they're gonna be big and bulky. Like, I'm not scared of big and bulky things, but these gotta make sense. AAA certified sweat. I feel like this is like a PL product, but maybe not. Once again, if this is super cheap, maybe I'd consider it for like a better helmet for me. Yeti cooler, we'll look at that. Gear, I don't think that works. There's a lot of keywords, but let's open it. No, that looks very tanky, but once again, I open up more than I probably should just to kind of re-look at them. If I'm questioning it, I'm basically just opening it. If we're up back to 7, I'm going to go one more page to get probably back to the 5 p.m. range. That's when I left off. Down loop we tried before. It doesn't mean we're not going to try again. Evo Shield. I bought these, but they came really weird. I bought one like this, but let's open it up. They came basically with like without a tag and just like a return. Did not look new at all, and I would not trust sending those two into Amazon and trust my account with those ones specifically. Now we're getting back to about, so let's look at this light brown. I don't think that makes sense, but once again, when I've said that a few times and things, now we're getting back. I recognize this Tetra Whisper Aquarium. This is basically, I was in this range yesterday when I left off for the day. Go slightly back before, just in case. Much more than a day, and it's probably not going to make a ton of sense. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just take my general filters. I'm going to look one more time for anything that's come through in the last, half hour. And then that will go through these items. That would honestly, LiftMaster, if I think I'm gated on that, but if you could sell that potential, and there's even over on Walmart potentially. So there's that as well. And if you notice, there's a ton of stuff I'm probably missing. I'm not checking all the Walmart stuff. I'm not Googling everything. So like this process, like I said, we spent an hour right now. Got to go through all these other ones over here. Like turn into a 2-hour process to really thoroughly go through and kind of get everything knocked out. There's 1021. We're probably back somewhere. Yeah, I recognize this. So let's go through all these. We'll do LiftMaster. I'd have to get approved for this. Not approved. We need to buy 10. I mean, so here's the deal. With Amazon specifically, I know Garage Superstore, just kidding. I'm not gonna try with an 81 rated person, just kidding. If this was Amazon, I might consider it, and I might try to see if I can buy enough of them for it to make sense. But like this doesn't make sense at all. And what I mean by that, so Amazon, typically if Amazon says they need 10 of an item, when you present them with their own invoice, they say they need 50. Kind of sucks, if I'm being honest. But if like I could have bought 50 of these, maybe at that price to get ungated. Toys goes okay. Someone's just, I think these are just frequently returned item. Interesting. Yeah, they're up and now they're just kind of dropping out. 30-ish, yep. Okay. I don't know what this even is, but let's 51 on 91. Just kind of do a quick spot check. And it's honestly, it's large standard. I just feel like this would break. Let's try to get approved as well. It's a $ brand, unlikely. I get one here and there, but which is why I keep doing it. Not particularly good on rank. Drops per 1 through 6. Not really interested in that. This is 55. This should be it should be a 110 thing. I don't understand why people are dropping this price so heavily. Should be a 110 item, like 114, 110. I'm curious. I'm gonna look on the side. Did I buy this? Oh yeah, I bought some of this already. Cool. I was gonna say this should be more like, even worst case, if it was at 94, like it's not great, but you get back out and there's a couple people down here. Don't be these people. Right, and then they go back up and then they come back. Like, just stay up. This probably happened, and then it immediately drug the pricing down. And this person's probably still sitting in that range because Amazon came in stock. Like, this person's gonna run out of stock real quickly, and then the price should come back up. Anyway, I'm probably not buying that. 93 rate's good rate, but Great Circle USA. I think this is actually like Goodyear. Maybe not. A lot of Goodyear stuff. I'm gonna just let it be. Evo Shield, $9.95. Close out bats. Selling this one. I mean, maybe. I'm probably gonna let it be with the rank being as high as it is. Let's see if I got any more water. All right. BP Athletic. I mean, who are you? Are you Evo Shield? I saw so many. No, it's just a real big store. Okay, cool. Youth. Let's go look at variations. Does this one actually sell anything? That could be part of the issue in itself. I'm gonna look at this. We're gonna look at current price at $9.95. Doesn't sell a ton, and it's something I've noticed recently. There's like 0 ratings, and like that's like a lot of listings are getting merged together. It seems like. I'm probably passing on that then. We already tried this. Doesn't mean we're not going to try again. I literally had it where I couldn't get approved for something, and then like 10 minutes later I could. So, nope. Move on. This doesn't make sense, but I'm going to still VTech. It's a $ brand. Same concept. $ brand. So moving on. This was a Yeti, had these for $320. Still wouldn't make sense. Okay. It's a weird looking helmet, but okay. Amazon's got them for $30. 'Tis the season. It's getting nicer out for bikes or whatever else. At least 400. Holy smokes, that's impressive. 400. That's quite the requirement. Frequently in return, probably not buying that. Then I'm staying away from that kind of stuff, and for the most part too. We're proof for that, but like 92. Someone was down at 40. Wouldn't be enough money to justify that return dealing with that red bar. This would be a I'm not sure. One day, who's in stock? There's no. Yeah, no, there's just not enough movements, and then they've come down here frequently before. Already know about that one. I'm gonna try to get approved for this one. Treasure X, fingers crossed. It'd be cool, but unlikely. Let's put it X. Let's try one more time. Maybe they're getting annoyed I'm trying so much. That's also something like I have no like factual evidence, but I feel like that me just constantly trying just opens more doors, more gates, I should say. Not enough there. No. Let's see here. 14 is at the normal pricing. Yeah, that comes in and out, but no. Still, once again, going to try for the approval. Got approved. Cool. I just, with how they like were been pretty steady for the last year, they have shown a little bit of going on in stock, but I'm not willing to gamble that. Rolling. $, fingers crossed. Doesn't look like we're gonna get any $signs today. There was one day where I got a bunch of them. All right, 54. No, this was that same item from earlier. I mean, this would be, in my opinion, like a straight gamble, and I'm not in the mood to gamble with products today at this price point. If you could potentially get that up there, you could make some serious money, but we're dealing with like this up down. Like, for me, probably not what I want to deal with, honestly. Those are cool though. I'm gonna let that be there. One left, and that's Amazing Group. These were like 17 something. Looks like there's 17 again. Looks like this person's just trying to get out. Okay. This helmet, 287. Jorgensen Sports. Is it Jorgensen? I mean, Power Sport. I mean, maybe. I'm probably not buying this. Once again, like higher price things, taking gambles on that are like also high ranked just don't really appeal to me. Some people love them. It's just not my jam. And if Jorgensen comes back in, they have a tendency to battle and go low too, so probably not. Let's try the command hook. Nope. What is this? Mosquito killer. Only been around for 37 days, so probably not. And then I will do one last price drop look, anything new come through here, and then if not, I would call it at this point, and I would work on whatever my next tasks are for the day. And then probably in a couple hours, I'd come back and re-look at any new price drops. And then probably around 3 to 5 o'clock before I finish for the day, I'd come back through and do another product finder where I go back through from now 5 o'clock back to call it 10:30, and go from there. And if I wanted to real quick here, I could also make one more check, nothing new there. And then the very, very last check. Any new track box come through in that period of time? Nope, that's 1 hour ago, still the same stuff. So now we're back to square one. This kind of walked you through that about an hour plus of just sitting here sourcing with just Keepa and FlipAlert. If you like this, think about subscribing, liking this. I plan to do this more frequently. I don't know if it's going to be every day, but pretty frequently because I'm going to be sourcing anyway. I usually source 5-6 days a week as it is, and I could do this if it's something that you find helpful. And if you want FlipAlert, take a look at the link below. It would help me out, help you out. I do get a kickback, full disclosure with that. And if you want more, maybe one-on-one with me, I am also with the buy box, which for $50 more than FlipAlert, you get FlipAlert plus everything that's inside of the buy box, which we have everything from stock checkers to Walmart chat to Amazon chat to General Shop help. Also, you can have up to 4 core coaching calls per month at the time of this recording this, whether it's with me or with Chad, some of the moderators and coaches that are in here, which is pretty cool. So that's my like pitch after an hour plus 10, hour 10. Like, subscribe if you like FlipAlert, get into that. I'll leave a link up below. If you're interested in the buy box, look at that as well. And I will leave you with that one. I will see you guys again very soon.